Despite being surrounded with mud, a lotus still blooms. Now imagine you can bloom like that every single day without letting your external environment and circumstances affect you to the point where people can't even comprehend how you are the way you are. There are two types of people in this world: dandelions and orchids. So dandelions are the ones who are born naturally mentally tougher, and orchids are the sensitive ones who lets the smallest things ruin the rest of their day, who takes things personally and stuff like that. So whether you are a dandelion or an orchid, there's still lots to improve on your mental toughness. So in this video, I'll be going over some things you can do to improve your mental toughness and strength. But before I get into that, first of all, we need to actually know what being mentally tough is. As a society, we were told that being mentally strong means ignoring your pain and not caring at all about anything, but that's just wrong, because being mentally strong actually means acknowledging your pain but not letting it control your actions. So mental strength isn't about ignoring your emotions, it isn't about controlling your emotions, it's about not letting your emotions control you. So even if you feel very deep emotions and very deeply hurt, if you get what needs to be done, then you're probably more mentally strong than a person who feels very little stress but gives up on everything and gives up on life. So the components that make someone a mentally tough person are high tolerance, high fortitude, high resilience, and better adaptability. So now what do these terms even mean? So high tolerance is how much you can take. Tolerance is basically how much you can take until you snap, until you break down, how much you can withstand. So how many hardships that you can endure until it's your breaking point. Fortitude means how deep you go when you snap, how low you go. So if you have a high fortitude, you just dip a little and then go back up. If you have a low fortitude, you're at your lowest. Resilience means your recovery time, how long it takes you to recover. And finally, adaptability means if you are better or worse after the hardship that happened. So, the reason why I broke these terms down is so that when you're going through this, you're aware what state you're in and you can understand what you need to improve on. So, to have mental strength, you need to work on your physical toughness and emotional toughness. To work on physical toughness, you just need practice. You need to do things that physically suck. So David Goggins says that your mind quits way before your body does. So that means until you master your mind, you'll never know the true potential of your body. If you don't know who David Goggins is, he's a best-selling author, a motivational speaker, a retired Navy SEAL, an ultra-marathon runner. He's just such an inspiration. So that's what he said. He's basically mastered his mind, and if you want to know your limits, where you're actually physically at, you need to master your mind and your mental toughness. So if you already work out, I suggest working out without music so that it's just you and your mind alone. And if you don't work out, I suggest doing exercises like the plank, where you can test your mental toughness, and running and stuff like that. So you need to practice if you want to get physically tough. Practice is very important, because I don't really care how much videos you watch like this, because if you don't practice, it's just meaningless. If you want to swim, I don't care how many swimming tutorials you watch. If you don't know actually how to swim, then what is the point? So now, how can you enhance your emotional toughness? Okay, so there's 3 zones. I don't know if you can. Oh, it's the other way around. Okay, my bad. There's 3 zones, okay? Comfort zone, growth zone, and panic zone. When this was a mistake I made when I tried to enhance my own emotional toughness, is that I went straight up to the panic zone. I exposed myself to things that triggered me emotionally, that sent me to the panic zone. do not go that far, because that's just going to make you worse. And the reason I say that is because, so when the war happened, some soldiers hippocampus actually grew because they had to endure a lot of hardships, so that made them stronger and stronger, whereas some other soldiers hippocampus actually shrunk, and those were soldiers were the ones who had PTSD. So basically for them, those hardships were probably too much and sent them to the panic mode, and once you get there, you actually get worse. Even if you get there over and over again, you just keep getting worse and worse. Instead, you want to go to the edge of the growth zone each time, and then eventually your growth zone will expand and expand, and then there won't be any panic zone where there used to be a panic zone. So I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. So instead of trying to expose yourself to things that make you panic, expose yourself to things that mentally challenge you, that are mentally hard for you, instead of things that make you straight up panic. And if you want to have clarity of thought, you need to distance yourself away from your emotions and actually learn how to think rationally. And the easiest way I do this is by viewing my situation in a third person perspective. So I just view at what I'm going through as if someone else is viewing me. When you're overwhelmed and drowning in your emotions, you can't make decisions rationally. Your mind makes everything so much worse than they actually are. Your mind exaggerates everything, and feelings and emotions are very deceptive because of that. This is why we tend to have like such a strong negativity bias. Learn to accept possibilities and have a vision for that, so that when some possibility, like a really bad possibility, actually happens to you, you won't be that shocked, you won't be that worried, because you already accepted it. I don't know what you're going through, but you're probably going to get through this, because imagine what you went through in the past. If you went through that, then compared to that, you will be able to go through this. Okay? Before finishing this video, I just wanted to say that if you take things personally, and if you're like victim minded and want sympathy and stuff, really no one's going to pity you, because people only see the result. They do not see your sacrifice, which is actually really bad, because people need to understand that there's a big sacrifice that goes into the actual result. But people don't really see that. They only focus on the outcome, not the procedure. So no one's going to really pity you. You just need to know how to, yeah, be tough. So that's it for today. See you in the next video.